Testing 1 2. This is gonna be live in about 5 minutes. We're just testing right now. Feel free to introduce yourselves as you join the live stream. If you have any particular questions, you can just go ahead and put that in the chat. We'll be answering questions live. Okay, RuckSackHack. Getting your business swag on. Woo! Ha ha ha. 5/31/2017, last day of May. We're gonna talk about what kind of hacks we were able to implement this month, and we're just gonna be sharing that. All right, folks. So standing by to get some of your questions, and of course deliver some answers to you. Scanning down, we got about 334 mics left. We'll be live. RuckSackHack. Alright folks, we're live right now. Welcome to the RuckSackHack Inc. Transition Assistant, Veteran Coach, Entrepreneurship Training. Today we have an exclusive training opportunity, and what we're doing basically is talking about entrepreneurship. Alright, we're gonna get our veteran entrepreneurship swag on today. Whether you're a veteran or you're supporting veterans or you know a veteran, we're gonna get this swag, the business swag on today. So feel free to introduce yourselves and talk about what business idea that you currently have and what you need help with. What we'll be doing is we'll be answering some of these questions and basically helping you guys connect with the folks that can help you get to the next level. All right. But before we do, we're gonna go ahead and just gonna do a quick introduction and just give you something that you can start thinking about as we go through this live again. This is live RuckSackHack Bootcamp. Real quick, some public service announcements. What you all want to do right now is go ahead and like and retweet this particular live feed. I already seen what I'll be doing is as I get a retweet, I'm going to be giving shout outs. So Ninja Nikoya, I see ya. We retweeted on Twitter. Okay, just click the link and join, but I appreciate the retweet. Also, like I mentioned, feel free to like introduce yourself and talk about what exactly you need help with as a veteran. All right, if there's a particular area that you need help with, it's you're in the ideation phase, but you don't really know what to do. That's what we're here for at RuckSackHack. We're here to help veterans, basically coach them in business ideation and also formation. All right. So, do you have it in you? Do you have it in you? Veterans are projected to be the engine that restarts the economy. The problem is articulating this reality to non-veterans continues to be like leading our dog to the river and expecting it to drink and tell you when it's finished. That doesn't happen. I mean, you can lead a dog to the river, but the dog's not gonna finish drinking the water and then tell you when it's done drinking. That doesn't happen. You know that and I know that. So what are we supposed to do then? We're going to be devoting this entire episode of the RuckSackHack Bootcamp live feed to career enablement and entrepreneurship. Today being the last day of May. Look back in your rucksack and dig out those skills that you applied today. Did you apply any skill set from your ruck? Did you? And if you did, what did you get out of it? Do an inventory. Real quick, what we're going to also let you guys know this happening, just check out our veteran-owned podcast. It's called Hangout Podcast. There's tons of content there. We've been doing this podcasting thing for over 10 years. And we're continuously refining our mode of delivering value-added training to our audience. Again, you don't have to know what you're doing. You just have to kind of be willing to tinker with your idea and be able to share those ideas, ask the right questions, and chances are you're going to get the right folks to help you with whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Okay? So what we're going to do pretty much right now is go ahead and introduce yourself. If you're already listening or you have access to the live chat that's part of this live feed on YouTube. Again, we're on YouTube live. Feel free to introduce yourself, talk about your business, and talk about what you're trying to accomplish next month. Because what we're doing today is priming, getting you ready for next month, June. Everybody want to lay low during June. They want to have some fun, but that's probably the best time for you to kick your entrepreneurship, aptitude to high gear. But by that I mean just doing what you got to do to get your idea out the door. And just by listening to this episode of this podcast, you're already telling me that you have it in you to do what is necessary to get your entrepreneurship idea out the ground. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and play an episode that pretty much talks about career enhancing and the employment trends for veterans. Again, a lot of people are like, oh, well, yeah, veterans are they're gonna be the engine to drive the economy, much like at the end of World War II, you had a lot of veterans that actually came back from the war, and they started a lot of businesses. That's where the baby boom generation came from. They were home and they were doing a lot of things. They basically were the engine that were responsible for restarting the economy. I see the same thing happening. And we're living in a day and age where technology is actually becoming the big enabler. Think about it for a second. 15 years ago, who would have thought that a company that just started out of Seattle named Amazon would be the juggernaut that it is today? But that's how technology can enhance and improve and add value to what people are actually trying to do. All right. So let's go ahead and do a quick talk about getting your ideas and career transition and things you got to do to get to where you want to be. All right. Guys, this is Chima from RuckSackHack. So a lot has been said on the news about military transitions and people having a difficult time outside of the military finding jobs. What about the difficulty people have within the military when it comes to advancing their careers? Because if you learn some stuff from what you're going in the military, you may be able to apply the same methodology when you get out of the military. I mean, let's face it, it's not easy serving in the military and advancing through the ranks. All right, you heard that, right? Who listens to this podcast is of the opinion and believe that you just got a pass when it came to your military career? You didn't get a pass, right? You have to work hard to make it through the ranks. Same rule applies. Believe me, same rule applies when it comes to this entrepreneurship thing that we're doing, or that we're trying to do. And you gotta have a long-term perspective. When it comes to veteran entrepreneurship. The cool thing that's happening right now, I'll tell you. We just came off from Memorial Day. There was a lot of pride, people trying to remember veterans that went before them, that served, and what they got, and I just remember them. But now you have veterans that are continuously serving, and some of these veterans are transitioning, and this transitioning in droves. I mean, you go to a transition assistant program somewhere, either on an Army installation or Air Force installation, and you see the amount of veterans that are actually going through this process. The one area that I see that needs improvement again is getting your swag on when it comes to business. Okay? So good title is designed to get you to kind of think about it for a second. All right, let's keep listening to this particular career transition hack. In spite of what some people think actually happens when you're in the military, it takes a lot of hard work and perseverance to make it through the ranks. Right, hard work and perseverance. Nobody's saying that you're gonna get to be a business person just by just hanging out. Nobody's saying that. All we're saying, especially here at RuckSackHack Bootcamp, is to get your career where you want it, you have to do some work. You just have to roll your sleeves, and it's a lot of work that has to be done. Okay? And luckily, like I said, this is a good, conducive environment for veterans to show what they're capable of doing. And once you can show that, people are going to give you a chance to basically progress. All right. Just so you guys know, we currently have an Instagram page. It's called RuckSackHack. Feel free to follow us on Instagram, and we'll be sharing some hacks right there, some good posts that's going to motivate you along your entrepreneurship journey. And you may also have a way to connect with other veterans while you're doing that by tagging and hashtagging some of these posts that we're going to have out there. And something else that we're going to be working on shortly, we're going to start actually going live on site to bring you guys our meetups, and also partnering with another veteran where we're going to be giving you the no kidding hard truth about entrepreneurship from two veteran perspectives. Okay, the reason we're bringing this out is to just share some of the lessons learned that we've gone through starting businesses and actually getting the businesses out there, looking for customers, and managing all the requirements that it takes to be an entrepreneur. I mean, you can get overworked and overwhelmed. But the one thing I want you guys to pay particular attention to is those folks that they look at you as not having the technical aptitude to actually be an entrepreneur. Again, nobody is born an entrepreneur. Some people are like, oh yeah, I was born an entrepreneur, so I am an entrepreneur. No, you weren't. Chances are you probably were listening or observing another entrepreneur and basically hoping to be like them one day. You probably have a mentor. Most families have mentors, and some families actually don't have mentors. So, but yeah, it's all up to what you're trying to do at that particular juncture. All right. So what we're gonna do real quick, we're gonna pause for a moment, and while we're doing that, just keep listening to this particular episode about career transition, and we're gonna come right back to continue this conversation.
You all know what I'm talking about. Professional military education, civilian education, things of that nature, duty assignments. So it takes a lot of work and coordination to make it through the ranks. Well, when you get out the military, the same rules apply, but this time around you are personally responsible for your own career progression. You're not going to have somebody pushing you, contrary to what other people tell you. There's not a lot of mentorship per se out there. You have to find your own mentors, and you have to build your own path to assignments.
Ended up, and I mean, to some extent, the higher up you get in the ranks, the more you could potentially impact your next assignment. However, junior airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen, they don't have that opportunity to actually impact where they end up. Like yesterday, I was ordering pizza somewhere and really impacting the guy that was actually helping your next assignment. However, junior soldiers, airmen, Marines, yes, I was just in one duty station all my enlistment, and I said, yeah, I remember what it was like to try to get a specific duty station, and you just in one duty station, go overseas or come back from overseas. And I said, I remember what it was like to try to get one, or if it was time to specific duty station, you had station just in one duty station, go overseas or come back from overseas. And I remember what it was like to try to get one, or get while you're in the military. So shifting gears, when you actually transition out of the military, the same rules apply to some extent, except you have to spearhead to what extent you want to get to certain career goals and objectives. So same rules apply to some extent, except you have to spearhead to what extent 18 months prior to get to certain separation career if there are certain discipline objectives. barriers that you want to master. I just focused into it and we have to spearhead now what is 18 months for us to get actually separation here. There are slowly finding just started barriers that you want to master. I just focused into it and we have to spearhead now what is 18 months for us to get actually separation here. There are slowly finding just started barriers that you want to master. I just focused into it and we have to spearhead now what is 18 months for us to get separation here. Project management. And it gets, if you look at the campaign, we have what's nice program
Okay, so that was a great piece of advice from our experience, basically. Great piece of advice. And what I was trying to ask you guys now that you kind of know what it is, so that was a great piece of advice. Are you prepared? Prepared for this, from our experience, basically. And if you say you're prepared, what I was trying to ask you guys now that you currently have know what it is, so that was a great piece of advice through this whole career transition from our experience, basically. If you say you're prepared, what I was trying to ask you guys now that you currently have the question that we posted on our last chat is career transition through this whole career transition from our experience. What challenges do you have? I mean, do you have a current challenge that you can solve? Or do you anticipate that you might have a challenge through this career transition for career? Now it's time to actually experience challenges. Without you, that information clear. Do you have a current challenge that you can solve? Or do you anticipate that you might have a challenge through this career transition for now it's time to actually experience challenges. Without you, that information clear. Do you have a current challenge that you can solve? Steady state that you might have a challenge through this career transition for now it's time to actually experience challenges. Without that information clear. Do you have a current challenge that you can solve? Steady state that you might have a challenge through this career transition for now it's time to actually experience challenges. Start working on your book right now. Just steady state that you might have a book. What you see there is a book that pretty much since time I knew I was transitioning on right now, doing a 2 edits with skill set gap analysis. There is a book that I just bought right now, and pretty much since time I knew I was. So what I ended up doing was we can put some of my boxes. You guys know what it's like. Skill set, CS, and words analysis. So there is a book that I just sometimes you may not be like I do I knew I was in the home through the station. So you have all these options. You go off like skill sets, to one of those boxes, and you find something. Sometimes you may not that you want to use. So when you're in the I was in the home. That's how you have all these options. It wasn't like I wrote the board out of the blue. It was just also writings that I've had, and I just went out there and put it together, found out it took me 3 years. That's what I did. It wasn't like I wrote the board right here. It's also writings that I've had, and I just went out there and put it together, found out it took me 3 years. That's what I did. When I wrote the board here, it's also writings that I've had, and I just went out there and go through, found out it took me 3 years. All your boxes, when I wrote the board here, chances are you will find an article or notes. You witness all your boxes when I wrote the board here on a subject. You will find an article or notes. You witness all your boxes when I wrote the board here. So that's a habit. You will find, go through your boxes, chances are you will find articles or notes. You've written on a subject or your box. You feel passionate about that. If you're just joining
This is Professor Hack. This is RuckSackHack live stream boxes. Chances are you will miss the what we're trying to do is get your business running. On the subject, do you have any new veterans or objective to be the engine that restarts? This is Professor Hack calls this particular industry live stream box to non-gadgets. You will miss the what we're trying to do is get your business running. On the subject, do you have any new veterans or objective? What we're trying to do is restart your business to narrow that gap. This particular industry live stream box to non-gadgets so we can know what we need to do for it and what we have to do. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what we're doing here. To narrow that gap, really bridge that gap to non-gadgets so we can know what we need to do for it and what we have to do. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what we're doing here. To narrow that gap, really bridge that gap to non-gadgets so we can know what. Now that you kind of know what we're talking about, how we're bridging that gap and what it takes, you kind of know what the deal is. Did you guys hear that Michael Kors is closing 125 stores? Well, that just got put out. So that just shows you that some of these companies, again, I remember when we were stationed down in Texas, there was a lot of some of those products that was sold in the PX. The question is, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's a lot of people that pretty much buy what's available at the PX. But my question is, just because a product's available at the PX, does it mean that it's by a reputable manufacturer? And oh, by the way, some of those products are very expensive. So another hack that we're putting out there, this would be hack number 2, is see if you can get into this PX system to distribute your products. In other words, you know how many stores there are, so multiply that times the number of installations, and that's how you can get massive distribution for your product or service. Using this mechanism that you're already part of. You're already part of the military system. Why not tap into the distribution network as an entrepreneur to get your product out there? All right. Yeah. So that's just another way to kind of utilize what you already know to test, market your idea cost effectively. Okay. Cost effectively, because the name of the game is getting out there without spending a lot of money and being able to achieve some solid objectives, again, without spending a lot of money, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what you want to do. Again, this is RuckSackHack Inc. I would provide transition assistance services, veteran coaching, and entrepreneurship training. Today we're talking about how you could turn your idea into a business, and it's providing some relevant hacks that can enable transitioning veterans or veterans that are already post-transition start and launch their businesses, take them from the ideation phase to a full-scale business. If you're interested in learning more about our services or to advertise on our podcast, scroll down and to the description, the information on this particular live stream, and you see our link to advertise cast for our Hangout podcast. Again, that's a veteran-owned podcast, Hangout podcast. You can feel free to advertise your services. Just reach out to us, and we'll work with you to get your service on our podcast. Okay. And talking about podcast, did you know that last month approximately 45 million people listen to a podcast? They did. Okay, so what does that tell you? That radio is on a decline. Now, I'm not saying podcast, you're going to wake up one night and there'll be no more radio stations. Well, guess what the radio stations are going to be smart at doing? Reinventing themselves. So if you are an expert in a particular topic, now it's time to potentially start a podcast. Alright, like I was talking to another veteran today, I pretty much told him that, hey, podcasting is kind of like, would be the new real estate. So you want to find that niche that you're good at and start sharing information relating to that particular topic, and hopefully you can get to the point where you can start making money. It takes a while. I'll tell you, for example, I started podcasting 10 years ago, so the opportunity that presents itself now is something that I'm not saying it's easy for me to do, but I'm well aware of the technical difficulties and also the opportunities involved with podcasting. So there you have it. I also help veterans develop their own podcast and their blogs, and help show them how they could use podcasting and blogging to extend their value add, in addition to obviously their branding and advertising campaigns. Okay, so that's RuckSackHack, and that's what we do. We help veterans discover how they can use tools such as podcasts to be more value added to their prospective customers. All right, again, this will be another announcement for Instagram. We have our Instagram page, RuckSackHack. Be sure to follow us, like, and comment on our Instagram posts. We're going to be sharing relevant posts on our Instagram page that's going to be motivational in scope, and obviously we're going to have short videos also that entertains and motivates at the same time. So it's about 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you have any questions or would like specific issues addressed, now it's time to feel free to jump on the live chat and shoot us your questions. What we're going to do, I'm going to be taking some of those questions. Again, like I said, feel free to retweet, share, and like this particular live stream. What is going to be captured as a separate podcast episode. So we're going to kind of do some editing work and get an episode out so other veterans that weren't able to join us live can actually listen to this particular episode. Okay, so again, do you have it in you? Do you have it in you? If you do, how are you going to get what you have in you out there as a service that can enhance what you're currently already doing? RuckSackHack Inc. That's the place you can come to do it. All right. You listen to the podcast episode, which is great, but every now and then we're going to have our live feed, and what we're doing right now too, we're taking this out to events. So be on the lookout for our next live event / meetup. Okay, so that'll be coming soon. So what we're going to do right now, we have another 30 minutes to go on this particular live stream. We're going to pause right here and put out some public service announcements, and right after those announcements, we're going to be right back to answer some of your questions. Again, just make sure you have your questions queued up and ready to go. Okay, questions have to be queued up and ready to go. The video we're going to talk about right now is from a veteran that does legal support services, and just listen to what this veteran has to say about legal services when it comes to dealing with government contracts.
RuckSackHack, live from Operation Startup. Again, mission-driven entrepreneurship. Here's a vetpreneur that's going to give us some word of advice. What's your name and what do you do?
My name is Melissa. And what I do is I'm called Veterans I'm there to help veterans who decided that their career military excellence drives their community. And they kind of don't know which way they should kind of how they should get started. And some of them may be getting into the business process. One of the things that I like to talk to my veterans about is the fact that once you start a business, you shouldn't just focus on exactly government contracting in and of itself. We're looking for a full package. Government contracting and also what you can do in the commercial world, specifically or related to the kind of business that you decided to do. I found that in consulting with lots of entrepreneurs, that the transition process in and of itself is very difficult, which is why I volunteer here at Operation Startup 1 day a week to come in and actually give business counseling to different veterans. And one of the things that I specialize in, that I look at, is making sure that their companies are actually prepared to get into the government contracting space. It's kind of difficult. They say that up to 80% of businesses that attempt to get into the government contracting space fail because they haven't met one of the different parameters that they need to do in order to be successful in actually obtaining that government contract. I also do a lot of lobbying, and I go to DC and attend different events, bringing to the attention of any decision maker that I can bend their ear the issues that I think are important to our entrepreneurs and to veterans in general. So that's basically my goal, is to be a resource for other veterans to make sure that they're successful in their business endeavor.
How can somebody, veterans, get a hold of you?
Well, they can reach me directly through my business, which is called DC Contracting Group, at 866-567-1537, and my extension is 700. Or they can get in touch with Operations Startup here at HCC at the ECC and schedule an appointment to meet.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, folks, like I mentioned, that's what we do. We reach out and we get you those hacks. We'll get you those hacks that's going to help you become self-sufficient as you pursue this entrepreneurship journey. Again, you're not by yourself. Believe me. You're not by yourself. We're going to work with you, and we're going to make sure that you understand what you're getting into. Obviously, government contracting is a different animal, so you need to at least have your business set up, functioning, before you start diving into the government contracting realm. It's full of regulatory and compliance related issues that you have to be well versed, or reach out to a resource such as DC Contracting Group to help you articulate basically what you're trying to do in that space. And I've reached out to DC Contracting Group, and she's been very helpful with helping me with some of the proposals that I was able to write for my government contracting arena. I guess it's still a work in progress, but yeah. So those are the kind of hacks that we bring to veterans. Okay, so if you're joining us today, we're having a live stream here, RuckSackHack Bootcamp, on our YouTube channel. Feel free to comment, introduce, like, share, and this particular live feed is going to be available on the RuckSackHack podcast. Feel free to subscribe on your iOS and Android devices. RuckSackHack. Again, that's RuckSackHack on Apple's podcast, and also on your Android. Just Google RuckSackHack. You see the podcast show up, the feed. You can just download that if you have an Android device. So again, questions, concerns. What is it? What makes you sleep at night? Do you read books? If you do, I highly recommend this book right here by yours truly. It's called Unleashing the Creative Umbra: 8 Easy Steps to Unlock Your Potential Forever. Okay, I wrote this book about 2.5 years ago. Again, during my transition, I was looking through my rucksack, my actual rucksack. When I say rucksack, I'm actually referring to all the experience, training that you already have if you're a veteran. And if you're not a veteran, you can use the same stuff to transition out. Okay, I know a lot of non-veterans that I've actually helped unleash their creative umbra, because sometimes we don't know we have the skills. You just need somebody else to talk to you about it, and boom, before you know it, you're operating in a level that's gonna then help you get closer to what you're trying to your goals. In this case, if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, you'll be operating at a level that will help you quickly become that entrepreneur. Again, Unleashing the Creative Umbra: 8 Easy Steps to Unlock Your Potential Forever. It's available on Amazon. In fact, just Google it. You're going to see the Amazon, or you can get it from Barnes & Noble and other fine digital ebook e-tailers. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what we do here at Rucksack Hack, helping our veterans to better understand and leverage what we can do. All right. So if you have questions, feel free to hit them up. I know I just got another question right now. I'm going to try to answer that question, and we'll share some of these questions later on. However we can go. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Alright, right back. Welcome again to the Rucksack Hack live stream. Coming to you live at Rucksack Hack Studios. What we're doing is we're talking about veteran related issues, concerns, and also we're helping veterans with ideation, and also giving them some terrific hacks that they could use to get after whatever opportunities that they're thinking about doing. All right, so Team Rucksack Hack right now is on. Okay, that's that. When you see that logo, that's us. Okay, and what we've also done is we actually have a jingle that we can actually play. We normally have this jingle playing before and after our songs. All right, and so you can kind of take advantage of get motivated. Our whole goal is to motivate our veterans, get them all nice and motivated so they can achieve their goals and discuss. Remember, I was telling you guys about we were talking about Instagram. All right, so yeah, so what I'm gonna do is post on Instagram. This is what the Instagram feed is gonna look like. You probably already seen this right here. This Instagram right here is pretty much saying, hey, Rucksack Hack is here, and join us for a live question and answer, just like we're doing right now. It's live, and yeah, we'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Okay. All right. So somebody's asking, why are we devoting this entire episode to Rucksack Hack to career enablement? Obviously, we want you to be successful. If you're not successful, we're not successful. So that's why we're coming on board and sharing all these hacks. Because we know it's not easy for veterans, especially to transition. You hear that over and over and over again. But, the sad part about it is you don't have people actually stepping up to try to do something about it. It's like, oh, veterans are having a hard time. Or you hear people say, oh, veterans are actually, it's a lot easier for them to transition. I beg to differ. Transition is probably one of the hardest things that you can do, because you're leaving a comfortable environment. You also leaving an environment where you have a huge network, and you're trying to it's like starting all over again. Remember when everybody went to basic training, and you had to kind of learn a lot of stuff? Well, that's what transition is like. Okay. Transition is just like that.
Rucksack Hack, this is how we gonna make it.
That's what transition is like. Okay. So yeah. So what we don't want to do is give you the impression that transitioning from the military is easy, because it's not. And sadly, a lot of veterans are ill prepared for this transition. They're ill prepared for it. It's out of no fault of their own. They're just ill prepared. And what we don't want to do is have veterans running around thinking they're just going to get out and that will be it. Okay, here's something else, another hack I'm going to share with you veterans out here. How many of you have heard of Operation Boots to Business? Okay. We're going to show you the hiring trends right now for veterans. Okay, hiring trends for veterans. Okay, so like I said before, veterans are going to be the ones to restart this engine. Okay, so top recruiting priorities for American business. Okay, type of employee ranked by most very important. Most important total. All right. So as you can see right there, military veterans, most important to very important. Businesses are looking to hire like 48% of those, and in terms of importance, 77%. So that ties with importance with African Americans, and only third for women and individuals with higher learning. Okay, so if you have foreign language skills or you're 55 and older, obviously, but look at that, military veterans are 77% when it comes to level of importance to top American companies. This is the top recruiting priorities for them. So what then happens to the to the 23% of veterans that are not important? Okay, that's where, as veterans, you have to start thinking past this employment maze. You're going from here to here. Do you fit a particular category? And if you do, what are you supposed to do? Nobody's saying don't try to look for a job. But what I'm trying to preach here, and pardon me if I sound like a broken record, is that those jobs are probably not going to be there that much. Again, like I mentioned, Michael Kors is closing 125 stores. Why do you think that is? You think because business is rosy? No. There's ups and downs and down cycle. Business is cyclical. That's why understanding how it works now and having a long-term perspective is going to help veterans tremendously when it comes to pretty much pursuing what they want to do. Again, you saw that chart. That's a chart that you need to kind of put in your rucksack. Put that particular chart in your rucksack and be able to pull that back when you're going through difficulties and you don't understand why things are not working the way they're supposed to work, or you become impatient. Okay, so that's something you need to kind of be mindful of. All right. Next thing that we're going to talk about here is I'm going to share some exciting videos with you that you can kind of get you motivated a little bit. All right. So again, the intent is not to just keep throwing things at you, but also share some items of motivation. Okay. So this video right here is something that we produced. We kind of took that initiative and produced it, and try to help other veterans. Well, the thing about it is primarily geared towards podcasting, but just check it out. It's interesting. All right.
Hey guys, welcome to the Music Business Podcasting Secrets, brought to you by Podbum Disruptive Services and our Podbum community on Facebook. So what we're doing today, we're just going ahead and talking about some of the hacks that we've discovered that's been helping a lot of artists actually change their music careers. In case you haven't noticed, the music industry is undergoing an explosive growth. This growth has been made possible primarily from and by innovative technologies that we've seen from the digital media companies. For example, you have companies like Apple, Spotify, Tidal, and even Podbum that are now disrupting the music industry using innovative solutions. Well, in our case here at Podbum, what we focus on is using podcasts to make fans and artists more connected as we use social media to disrupt the music industry. Alright, what is disruption? Obviously disruption, we like to say ours is music disruption. As artists ourselves, we pride ourselves in being able to create and also share our original work of arts and content with our fans. And I'm sure there's fans out there that also want to make sure that they have access to the most compelling, original, and creative music. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to pose a quick question, and you can answer
any one of these questions, if you go to our Facebook community website, look for the music business podcasting secrets, that link is still going to be up even after this live video. We're doing this video and we're actually going to post that video so you can respond to our questions. So hey music fans, would you buy a song as a podcast episode? So go ahead, go to our Podbum community site on Facebook, at Podbum, that's PODBUM, and answer one of those questions. So what we're going to do is continue the discussion. Would you like, if you're an artist, an access to our behind the scenes hack that you can use on a daily basis to gauge your career? We have that information coming at a later time during this video podcast. Alright, so what exactly is a podcast? Everybody out there is using the word podcast loosely, but in a nutshell, podcast is an MP3 or audio file that can be released as a feed and can be distributed using tools such as Apple Podcasts or other Android devices. Okay, if you want to learn how to do podcasts as an artist, my recommendation really is to continue to learn the tools that are already available to you on social media. For example, I know you guys already have accounts on SoundCloud, you already have some Spotify streams, and you're already doing things to get your music out there. But there's an important step that a lot of artists are missing, and that step is podcast. Absolutely. If you look at the volume of MP3 and media consumption that's out there currently, it will behoove you to find a way to repurpose already existing content that you may have, or actually develop new content to make those contents readily available as podcasts. Notice how he said it would behoove you. Remember that word during basic training? It behooves you. Yeah, I remember that during basic training for betting. Yeah, let's continue. Okay, because what's going to end up happening is the more people see that your music is out there and being promoted, the more you're going to most likely increase your fan engagement and convert those fans to music buyers. So that's what's cool about podcasting, and that's what's cool about using social media as an enabler for your music career. So like I was mentioning before, I was talking about what a podcast was. Well, to start a podcast, there's a lot of tools out there that you can use to get you started. Obviously, a lot of artists already have these tools at their disposal for making their demos, jingles, or songs that they're trying to place on movies. But what I'm recommending is that you make those songs and you cut those albums, start thinking about using podcasts as a way to promote your creative works. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is ask another question that we've already posted on our Facebook community website. So how many artists use podcasts to sell their music? You can respond to this question and post by going to our Podbump community website where this video is going to be posted, and just let us know who's using podcasts, who's not using podcasts. And like the previous question said, if you're a fan listening to this post, the question I posed was, hey music fans, would you buy a song as a podcast episode? So let's continue with our discussion. For those that are not creative, but you want to learn how to be a creative at the works that you do, the one book that I'm going to recommend here is Unleashing the Creative Umbra, 8 Easy Steps to Unlock Your Potential Forever. You can get that book on Amazon or find online bookstores. And obviously, if you want to get more information about what we're talking about, feel free to follow us on our Facebook community website. So our Facebook is listed there for you. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook. And obviously, if you didn't get a chance to listen to this live video or during the event, we took it upon ourselves to record it. But to catch our exclusive hacks, just go ahead and sign up. Sign up for our Music Business Podcasting Secrets newsletter. And then all you gotta do is go to podbum.com/music business podcasting, and that will take you to this site right here where you can sign up for our Music Business Podcasting Secrets newsletter. That newsletter is going to provide you with exclusive behind the scene hacks relating to how you can do podcasts. Or if you're not sure if podcasting is what you can't do currently, just let us know, and we'll be more than happy to do your podcast for you and send it all out so you can get your music career started and growing. So again, in case you wanted to get access to our ebook, just shoot us an email after you register. We're going to send you a free ebook that you see right there. It's called Podbum Music Disruption, Game-Changing Hacks for Musicians and Executives. So until next time, what we're going to do is pause right now, and feel free to follow us on Twitter at Podbum, obviously on Facebook, and also check out our podbum.com website. That's podbum.com. So keep creating, and we'll be happy to help you increase your engagement. All right, so you guys heard that particular episode about podcasting. So yeah, I understand. Sometimes I'm pausing real quick. We're just going to take question. Alright, so basically be a little change to the plan that we were talking about bringing it to where you are. It's been a little change to that plan, but that doesn't mean we're not going to try to keep bringing you good stuff, okay? But right now we have the online mechanism. Basically just go online, RuckSackHack Bootcamp, and figure out how you guys could get motivated with what we're doing. Just try hard to get motivated with what we're doing. If you can do that, then that's kind of hard. Half the battle, believe me. Getting motivated is pretty much half the battle. What we try to do here is help folks with this whole motivation stuff. Okay, so RuckSackHack Bootcamp, being live right now, talking to people. It's a good thing being live. So we're live right now, basically, and so join live. All right, so yeah, so we're doing some stuff, and we're live right now, basically talking about how we can get some people to. We're trying to motivate folks, and they don't know what they're doing. They don't want to get motivated, and yeah. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. You know. Anyway, yeah. So we got 4 minutes left on this particular live stream, and again, would like to thank folks that have been sharing. So Paula Perry, 1621, appreciate the retweet. Ninja Nikoya, appreciate the retweet. So it's been almost an hour. We said we're gonna wrap this up at 3:30, but basically we're gonna like pull the plug at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right, and then we're gonna just go back and start edit. We're gonna edit what we got currently, and once we edit that, it'll be available for as an episode on the RuckSackHack podcast. But what I want you all to do is go ahead and tell us your top 3 concerns when it comes to developing business ideas for yourselves. All right. Like I said previously, we're gonna take those concerns and we're gonna pretty much address your questions on the episode. All right. Until next time, this is RuckSackHack podcast. Typically, what we do is we play the jingle on our way out, but there won't be no jingles today. So we'll just give you some time to ponder those questions and ask the questions, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Alright folks, it's been fun trying to get your business swag on. Again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We're gonna wrap up this event. There's still another half an hour left. If you guys post questions, we'll come back, check some of those questions, and make sure we'll capture those questions for our questions. Gonna go to our blog basically. This 30 minutes, we can continue this conversation on Facebook. All right. So if you're on Facebook, just go to Facebook, and we're gonna